And welcome everybody for another episode of You Can't Handle the Truth podcast, where we talk about fantasy football and talk about the matchups and everything. Um, this week, this past week I played. Let's see, who did I play? I played the Zeke squad, which is Ben's team, R.I.P. Ben, and I beat him 140 to 137.78, which I beat him in pretty much the last game of the week. My guy was supposed to get 22.98 points. He got me 10.60, which he should have got me a lot more, but he didn't. But I was lucky to win that game. Kirk Cousins for the Zeke squad, he kind of choked, got 10 points, was supposed to get 30. That would have hurt me. To D Moore, put up some big numbers. And let's see here. Up in my roster, I should have started running back Edmonds because he got 31 points for me, almost half of what he was supposed to get. He's only supposed to get 17, but he got 31. And then Hurts, he did good too. I don't know. I might end up starting him one day this week. But then a guy that I should have picked up before the game, but I didn't last week, T. Boyd, got 33 points. And my defense only got negative 10. My bench defense anyway. And then, man, I know Ben's gone, but, we'll never forget. Gone but never forgotten. We would always have, fantasy football to talk about when we play each other, or when he'd play against different teams and stuff. I miss you, bro. I love you to death. But anyway, this week I have a special guest on the phone with me right now, and we're going to talk about his game, monsters of the IFL versus Belichick, Matthew Wallace versus Charles Dalton. Matthew, are you there right now?
Yeah, man.
So let's talk about that game. How did you think that it would come out, and were you surprised on how well you did and how well you didn't do?
Well, I was surprised I won. I should have done better, but, it's life in the NFL, you never can tell from week to week how you're going to do,
Yeah, it looks like your Patrick Mahomes, he balled out again. He got 60 points, and he got 9 more points than he was supposed to. But that's still pretty good. And then Kyle Murray, he only got 4 points more than he should have. And Diggs, he got 6 points more than he should have. And Charlie has some pretty good players. Kamara, 30 points. Barkley, 39 points. Tight end didn't do too well. Your defense played pretty well today, or pretty well last week. But let's go through. Let's see, now a guy that I traded you, Kareem Hunt. Yeah, you put him on the bench this last week, and he got 23 points, and he's been more consistent ever since I let him go. How do you feel about not playing him? When do you think you're going to play him the next week?
I'm going to play him sometime. I thought that my other running backs was going to do good, but I guess they kind of disappointed me like Tyler Lockett has.
Yeah, how do you feel about Tyler Lockett, and then how, one game he can go off for 60 points or something, and then another game he can only get 6 or 7 points?
Well, that's how it was in the matchup against Charlie last year in playoffs. Like, my wide receivers didn't even show up for the game, so that was one of the reasons why Charlie was able to beat me, because none of my players really performed to their ability.
Yeah, and I guess that's the good and bad thing of the fantasy football league. That's why you have different players, and that's why I have a bench to rely on. But then sometimes the bench doesn't do good for you at all. And have you looked at the matchups any this week besides your game? I'm not talking about week 5 yet. I'm talking about week 4. The past week. Have you looked at any of the games, and do you have any thoughts on any of the games that really surprised you or didn't surprise you?
Well, so none of the games like um, Rough Riders didn't show up at all. I thought they would do better than they did, but
Yeah, they were the last undefeated team, and now we don't have any undefeated teams anymore. And then, of course, Rogers' team is 0-4 now. Um, do you think he's got a chance to win any games this year, or is he going to go winless again?
I hope he wins some games. I mean, he has good players on his team. It would surprise me if he didn't win any games.
Yeah, it does surprise me too because Baker Mayfield, he's a decent quarterback, and he got negative 1.03 points, and Beckham, I think Beckham, he's been playing with the injury, so he might need to bench him, give him a different player. His most consistent player is Derrick Henry, and if he had some decent wide receivers, yeah, he'd be tough out. But with him not having any backup or any help, it's kind of hard for him to win any games this year. And then I'm surprised he didn't. Let's see if he had a kicker. He did not have a kicker. So until he gets a replacement kicker, he's not going to score any points for that spot because Robbie Gould is on the injured reserve list. See, this is Howie Jelly. Yeah, this is Howie Jelly. What about that game? This is Howie Jelly against BB Ballers. That game didn't surprise you because it was supposed to be, closer game, like 209 to 180-95, but Brandy's team didn't show up at all. Brady choked. They won 19-17, but he only got 10 points and was supposed to get 44 points. And, she has some good players too. Travis Kelce, he's a good tight end, especially having Patrick Mahomes to pass to him. And then Josh Allen, he was supposed to get 52. He only got 32. He kind of, didn't do as well as he could have. But then Eckler, he seems to be a pretty consistent running back. Give him 42 points. Defense played well. And he has quite a few players that look like they're questionable, but then one player that he has on the bench questionable got him 35 points. Now on Brady's side, Joe Burrow, he probably should have started him. He got 49 points and was only supposed to get 36. that would help out a lot more. But I think this year is a toss up. We really don't know how have um, a clear winner. Sometimes some years you can decide who's gonna. You pretty much know who's gonna win the whole thing, and But this year, it's the competition seems pretty stiff competition that we have this year with all the different teams and different injuries, and we get that COVID this year that could play into people's um, games and stuff like that. But luckily, we haven't had any issues of that this year. Yeah, Lynn played Jacob this year, or this time, and it had Lynn winning by like the smallest of margins, but then his team didn't show up at all. Let's see. Yeah, his bench players. He should have played his bench players. Smith, 32. Dodson, 33. Connor, 28. I mean, that right there. Cooper Cup, he only got 11 points. And when I played him, he went off. And then last week, he went off too. And then Matthew Stafford went off too. But he didn't really show up this week. Chase only got 21 points. Running back Williams only got 12. Man, it's so up and down. You just don't know, how well a team is going to be or do. And it's just crazy how, like Samuel, wide receiver for Jacob's team got 63 points. He left him on the bench. McLaren got 43 points. Left him on the bench. It's crazy how it works out like that. Like me, let's see my bench. Yeah, Edmonds. Let's see if anybody on my team really choked. Yeah, Keelan Allen choked. My team. Let's see who else. The defense choked on my team. Only got me 4 points. Now the defense for Noah's team got 10 points. They were supposed to get 27. They choked. I'm surprised he didn't have another wide receiver to replace that Thomas guy. But he's an injured reserve. Yeah, he did. Mike Evans. He should have played Mike Evans. I don't understand why he didn't do that, because he didn't have any player. He didn't. I don't know. Who do you think's the favorite to win the league this year? So far, I know we're on this starts week 5 this week, but like, do you think there's a clear winner?
No, not really. I mean, last year, record-wise, it should have been me and you in the final.
Yeah.
Put out in the first games.
Yeah, and I believe I got third place last year. Yeah, because we got put up by Charlie, and he ended up winning. But then the year before that, I was in last place, and I went to the championship game against Ben. I lost to him. Yeah, that was a crazy year too. This year this is up and down this year, and I don't think there really is a clear winner this year. Well, let's look at the matchups for week 5 matchups. So this week, I play Matthew, and Roger plays Lynn, Andy plays Noah, Blair, that is. Jacob plays Brandy. Lynn plays Noah Capshaw. The Zeke squad. So it looks like it's going to be from the start, it looks like it's going to be some pretty lopsided victories. I don't know, but looks like the one against Brandy and Jacob is going to be a close one. It's projected 174.59 to 174.13. But you never know, how the players are going to play. And this year I kind of I was kind of hesitant on playing or playing my team against Ben because I wanted to give him those wins, but then he would have wanted to play against me. He wouldn't have just wanted me to lay down. So um, I'm glad I get to play him, and I still talk about fantasy football with his son, Noah Capshaw. And so that's an honor that I get to do, that I'll get to do every week. And I think fantasy football is good. It's a good thing to have. That way you can talk smack to people, talk trash, and still be friends, because that's what we are. In the end, we're friends, and you know some weeks we're gonna have awesome weeks, and some weeks we're gonna have terrible weeks. I mean, it's just like that game, that one against Lynn when I played him, I got smacked pretty good, and the Charles smacked me too pretty good. But this week you come back and win, so that's, I don't know, just hope everybody continues to watch the roster and keep an eye on who they need to play, and who, I know it's a coin flip that who's going to play well and who's not going to play well. It's like I'm projected to lose to Matt by like 30 points, but you never know. My team could show up. Hopefully they do. And yeah, it's just like I said, I hope everybody just watches their teams, keeps an eye on the team, and just um, well, I think that's all the time we have for today. And sorry I was kind of late talking, getting on the podcast. I thought today was Wednesday for some reason, but it's not. But I want to have a special thank you to our special guest. Thank you for taking my call and answering the questions and talking about fantasy football this week, Matt.
Oh, you're welcome.
Well, you have a good day, buddy. I love you. Hope you have a good day.
I love the show.
All right, talk to you later.
Bye.
And folks, that was the our special guest, Matthew Wallace. If anybody else wants to call in, or me call them and we'll talk about fantasy football or whatever, just don't hesitate to call, or give me a text message or something that you want to talk or something. But that's week 4 matchups, and week 5 starts this week. Like I said, just hope everybody has a great week. Hope that all the teams that they expect to play good. And yeah, just thank you for listening once again. And I guess I'll talk to you guys later. And I'll try to get done early next, like Wednesday next week, so we can talk more football. But anyway, I hope you guys have a great day. Keep on keeping on. Keep God first, and everything else to fall into place. You guys have a great